But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know?
Oh!
I win that.
Now comes September the 4th!
Oh, Jesus, you are gonna be mad. Come on, calm down, dude. Oh, God. Oh, you wanna know your problem? Oh, God. Hey, Dad, you wanna see what your whole problem was from the beginning?
Yeah, the guy...
Whoa, yeah!
Our feeling. God almighty.
And the Oscar goes to...
Folks, we gotta get good people to stand up against these people. God. The genetic encoding recordings that are in the DNA from our ancestors. And the chills I feel when I talk about this is losing all of that information.
She would be one of the first ones. The first one to offer her... Come on, man. Who writing your stuff?
You know, I got lucky. It was my birthday, and I consider myself the second luckiest person on that day.
Wowzers!
And the Oscar goes to...
sad about
all of that information.
They were sitting there. They were sitting there.
It's horrible. Well, there couldn't be a better time to have the editor and publisher of the Gloom Boom Doom Report, gloomboomdoom.com, economist Mark Faber, I can't go over his illustrious bio in the time we have, the next 25 minutes, but he, of course, graduated at 24 with a Ph.D. in economics, magna cum laude, and he joins us from Thailand today, a real expert on world markets, especially what's happening in Asia. And I've got so much to discuss with him on oil, gold, what's going to happen with the Chinese. Could they dump a bunch of gold in the market, where he sees everything going. We have to say his forecasting is among some of the most accurate in the world. Again, gloomboomdoom.com.
Joining the program now is Mark Faber. He is the publisher of the Gloom, Doom, and Boom report. Mark, welcome to the show.
My pleasure.
So which is it, gloom or doom or boom?
Well, depends on which asset class and on which region in the world, and also the time frame. We could have a boom first and then a bust, or a bust first and then a boom, who knows. But clearly markets will continue to fluctuate widely. I think that volatility will increase. And if we just look at the performance since 2009, the S&P has more than doubled. Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia are up by more than 250%.
Gamblers lose regularly, but they rarely discuss it in public. Losing is bad for the image, dude. Nobody buys hot tips from losers. Remember that. This year with KK Ho to blow it all up on this show.
Well,
no, listen, Scott, I don't know if I can continue with this. You know, this is.
Hey, you want to fight with me?
No,
I'm happy to fight with you if you want to go in the ring.
Hey, come over here and say that.
I've been in the ring.
Come over here and say that.
What do you mean come over there?
Come over here and say that.
You come over here.
No, you come over. Come on. You make the first move, buddy.
No,
make the first move. Come on, get up. Make the first move. It's my show. Make the first move. Yeah, get up off your butt.
You think
go ahead, stand up. Stand up. Come on. Stand up.
Yeah.
Calm down. Don't understand how many times it's done to people. Don't you understand the risk? Don't you understand the risk? Jesus Christ. Get out of my show. Get out of my show. Get off the set.
Do you know what? You can
get off the set.
Keep the show.
Get out of here.
Stick the show right where it was. The sun don't
What's going on here? Come on.
As for this crap,
get out. Somebody call security. Get this lunatic off my show. I will never get this Jamie Dimon on my show ever more. Get this lunatic out of here.
My last question, George, is that it seems to me you're kind of an icon for someone who can see the bad things going on, but not let it sort of harden your heart, not let it get into you and screw up your either mental state or your emotional state. Do you have any advice for people on how you can still stay engaged in the world and not just go insane with anger and resentment?
Become a spectator. That's what I am. I have found that over the last 20 to 30 years, somewhere in that span between 20 and 30 years ago, I began to pull away from having a stake in any of this. I don't really have an emotional stake in the outcome anymore in terms of my caring. I don't really give a fuck when you get right down to it. I don't care what happens to my species, because I think this species has squandered great gifts, namely and especially the gift of this mind we have, the brain/mind, which is able to distinguish between subject and object as a starter, and able to do a lot of abstract things that should have led us better places. And the opposable thumb and walking erect and that whole package, we should certainly have done better than to embrace superstitious religious belief that rules us and leads us, and the pursuit of goods and profit and territory and power. That's what we turned into. And I think the same is true of this culture. I have also found myself pulling away from this culture and not caring about the outcome because I think the same thing is true. This culture, the country, the American country, was given great gifts. It developed great gifts on its own at the beginning, and I think we squandered these ideals, these noble purposes and ideals that we began with. And we went off the track because of the prosperity, primarily. We were always infected with the religious thing. That was always there underneath everything. But prosperity led to greed and possessiveness and wanting to own things and have them for their own sake. And now the American people politically have been bought off, have been completely silenced and bought off by gizmos and toys. And that's a line from the current show. And it's just a shame. So I pulled away emotionally, and I said, you know what, fuck them. Let them do what they want to do. I'm going to enjoy this shit as a spectator. And I look at it as a show. It's a big circus. It's a big parade, whatever metaphor you want to use. I think of it as the freak show. I like to say this. When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show. When you're born in America, you're given a front row seat. And, man, I'm sitting there, and I have my notebook out, and I'm enjoying the show, and I wish I could live 1,000 years to watch this all develop. The rise of Russia, the rise of China, the Muslimization of Europe, the decline of the white race. It's going to be an amazing story as it develops, and I just wish I could see it all. I'm 70 now. I'll probably live to between 90 and 100, I think, and I'll get to see some of it, but it is an interesting, exciting thing to watch if you can detach yourself emotionally. And that's the end of that.
That's the best way to swallow all that stuff and believe it and still walk down the street singing a happy...
That's right.
Happy tune.
There's no anger in it, see? There's no anger, there's no emotional stake.